do sometimes gets in the way of that. And I'm going to admit, it's not my priority to bring fun to the office like it is for some bosses, but I'm trying to change that today. Okay, listen up, ladies. I know that you guys have been pretty bored, / working pretty hard, not sure which, but whichever, we're going to have a little throwing competition for you guys. So, look forward to that. Until then, work hard. I don't want you slacking because you're so excited. In order to try and make the place seem more inclusive and fun, we're holding a throwing competition for all of the women in the office. Since we all know that females are physically inept, they'll be the only sex competing.
I get really competitive. Big whoop. When I was younger, my dad speculated that I might have had a Y chromosome because he swore I was the son that he never had. He had me tested for the presence of the SRY gene.
I don't really care much for athletics, but I do care about beating Jessie.
Unfortunately, my dad thinks that I didn't produce enough testosterone in my cells to generate the Mullerian duct. He also thinks that I didn't produce enough testosterone to develop male genitalia either.
I'm sexually ambiguous in this office. No one really knows what genitalia began developing that second half of the 6th week in my mother's womb. This is something I'm well aware of. I like to keep people guessing.
I have to win.
Let the games begin. Let the throwing competition begin. Just
1 second. It was close.
I think the throwing competition was a raging success. Pat completely decimated Jessie, which is to be expected. Pat is sexually ambiguous. I think that it confuses people because he has the secondary sex characteristics of a man. Of course, nobody really is certain what primary sex characteristics he has.
Do I have a penis? Is there a Mormon running for president? Oh, wait, there is a Mormon running for president.
I'm fine with letting Pat compete and win. It brings a competitive drive to the office that's important in the workplace. Otherwise, these yahoos would just sit around doing nothing. Anyway, going well. It's a good idea. Good job.
I'm not okay with Pat competing. I'm pretty convinced that Pat is, in theory, a man. There's simply no other explanation for my defeat. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to test for the genes that often determine sex.
In reality, I legally can compete as a female, but it's much more fun to see everyone scrambling around trying to see if I can.
We're going to look at Pat's chromosomal makeup, his karyotype. Does Pat have a Y chromosome?
It's called complete androgen insensitivity syndrome.
I don't care if Pat identifies as a female. I don't care if Pat was raised female or male.
Well, I do have testes instead of ovaries. I also have external female genitalia. My cell receptors are defective, and they don't recognize androgens, including testosterone.
Pat does not menstruate. How do I know this? I asked Pat if she menstruated, and she said no.
Studies have shown that nurture doesn't override the fact that Pat was exposed to male sex hormones.
It's like there's no testosterone present. That's why these, smooth as a baby's bottom.
So, what do? We continue on. We see if Pat's Y chromosome is present, And if the SRY gene is present?
It's like, as an embryo, I began on the path of becoming a male because my SRY gene was completely functional. But somewhere along the line there, the long and complicated process of developing a male body was just never completed.
I have to win. Do I have armpit hair? No. Of course not.
Listen up, office. I know that you've all been anxious to hear the results of the throwing competition. You're all waiting on the edge of your seats.
I'm literally on the edge of my seat.
Well, unfortunately for you, we have decided that Pat, with complete androgen insensitivity syndrome, is recognized as a female in the athletic world and therefore wins this award. Congratulations, Pat.
Back to Angry Birds for me.
Raging success.